Oh Lord. Hold on, y'all. Let me clear this up. No, it's still a little blurry. There we go. Okay. So let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. So this is Next Gen NYC. We're going to just talk about episodes 1 and 2 of season 2. I don't really have no notes. I'm just freeballing it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Excuse me. So let's just talk about it. So everybody came back from season 1 and they've added 2 new people. They've added Rowan, who is Brooke Shields' daughter. We don't see her until episode 2. And they've added Liam, who is an actor and a little bit of everything. I mean, he's an actor, director, firefighter. Like, he's a little bit of everything. He's born and raised in New York. It looks like he says that he said his family aren't like generational money. However, it does seem like he came from a little money because he went to like private school and his parents have an estate up on Lake George and stuff like that. So I feel like maybe he kind of grew up like upper middle class. I don't know. The big story is that Adriana broke up with oh Lord. See, I should have wrote his name down. Adriana broke up with the boy, with the Zaxby's boy. I wonder why we didn't get more people of color this season. Well, here's the thing. The short answer is I don't know. I mean, hey, Powerful, what's up, girl? Did they offer it to anybody and they turned it down? Who knows? I don't know. I think, and I don't want. Can I ask a question? And I don't. Anyway, let's get into it. I'll talk more about it as we go through these 2 episodes. The big story is the fact that they broke up. Now, people are questioning whether the breakup is real or not. I'm going to be honest and tell you guys, I never questioned whether the breakup was real, but I do understand why people were like, is this just for the cameras? It happened right before filming. They were actually filming when it happened. Hold on, I need to look something up real quick. It happened while they were filming. So I can understand why people feel like this was done for. Now, I don't necessarily think that it was done for the show. Hold on. But do I feel like they exploited the breakup for a storyline? Yeah, maybe. Hold on. My fat finger, sorry, y'all. So, yeah, Cajun, they're like half the cast is people of color. They have Riley, Amira. Did you not see her mother? Did you not see her mother? Like her mother was in both episodes. She's mixed. Her mom sounds like I think her mom had an accent. So her mom is from she's a person of color, and her dad is white. And then Ava. So we have 3 people that are people of color. Like I mean, when it comes to these shows, you know, Ethiopia. So her mom is Ethiopian. So yeah, so that's 3 people of color. I mean, I don't know. I think that's pretty representative on a show like this. I mean, anyway, so I wish, and this is going to sound, I hope this doesn't come off wrong. I hope this doesn't come off. I hope this season Amira has I feel like I hope this season that Amira, I think y'all know what I'm trying to say without saying it. I wish we could have a conversation where Amira talks about her life, her transition, how her family dealt with it. Because what I love, on one hand, I love the fact that her family seems to be, her parents are so cool with everything. They respect her pronouns. It's not an issue. It's not a big deal, right? Her friends, even as ignorant as what's the face is, child, the boy, Charlie, even as ignorant as Charlie is, I love the fact that everybody just, it's not an issue, right? It's not an issue. But I wish we would have a conversation about it, because for these group of people to be so young and so cool and so okay with who Amira is and how Amira has a boyfriend, and it's just not a big deal. But at the same time, I really wish it could be a conversation. Does that make sense? Like, I'm glad it's not a big deal, but I wish we could talk. I wish we could have a conversation about it. Like that scene when we saw her with her parents, I would love for that to have been a conversation with her talking about her. Because even when she said, hey, you know, I came to New York, you know, with plans, dreams, and a big old afro. I feel like that would have been a perfect time to have that conversation about her transition, because her family seems to be so cool with it. And I'm sure it was a process. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure it was a process, but I don't know. Again, I don't want to make it, I don't want to make it an issue, but I just wish it could be a conversation. But moving right along. I understand why she doesn't talk about it. They're trying to make it a regular thing by her. But yeah, I get, that's what I'm saying. I understand why it's not a thing. But then on the flip side, I'm like, I wish we could kind of talk about it. But anyway, moving right along. But I love the fact that it's not a big deal, that her friends, nobody has an issue with it. It's never been an issue. Nobody's ever used it as a dig or a storyline. Like, none of that. I respect the hell out of that. I respect the fact that we see that her parents are just like, it just is. Like, I love that. You know what I mean? I really do love that. Anyway, so we see Ariana moving. We catch up with everybody. So Gia moved into her own apartment in New Jersey, but she's literally right across the river. So she's closer to Manhattan. So she has her own apartment. I get it that it's New York, but just because it's New York doesn't automatically mean it's an accepted thing. I mean, we're not gonna sit here and act like that trans people in New York don't get profiled and get accosted. Like, a whole trans person was damn near beat to death in a bodega in New York like a year ago, and they caught it on camera. So we're not going to act like just because it's New York, everybody is so cosmopolitan and it's so cool. That's not the case. That's not the case. But anyway, so we find out that so like I said, Gia's got her own apartment. Cool, whatever. Brooks is just being Brooks. We found out that Brooks is struggling with his business. Now, this is the business that you begged your mom to let you run, and you did the whole business plan last year, yet you haven't put out a collection. You were supposed to do a fashion show in May, and it's now September, and there's nothing. You said that your material came in. Again, I told y'all I'm blending both episodes. You said your material came in, but it's in a warehouse in Texas where your boyfriend lives. Why is your stuff in a warehouse in Texas where your boyfriend lives? That's crazy to me. The life that she lives should speak for itself. Again, I hear what y'all are saying. I'm not saying that we need to make it a thing. I'm just saying, I love the fact that it is so accepted. And I don't know. I just wish it would, I don't know. Again, we don't need it to be a conversation, y'all. But I was watching it and I just loved how everybody was just so cool with it. Everybody was just so cool. Y'all know what I mean? Her family, her friends. Anyway, moving right along. Ava addressed the fact, she said, listen, I wasn't the one that wasn't paying the rent. You know, I was sharing the apartment with my daddy and I was paying my half of the rent, but he wasn't paying his half of the rent. That's the story. So now they talking about I got evicted. She said, I ain't get evicted. but I did have to move. So basically, you moved before you got evicted. That's what it is. Now, she says she wants the lifestyle that Amira has. However, you ain't making the money that Amira's making, baby. Amira's apartment is $16,000 a month, but Amira is working. Like, Amira's got over 1 million followers. Amira's got brand deals that she probably got brand deals worth $20,000 a month. You know what I mean? And she and her social media content and stuff. So $16,000 a month for her apartment probably ain't shit. You know? So Ava, I'm gonna need you to get to that point. Like you not there, girl. You're not there. Charlie got caught up in something. I said I was gonna Google it and look it up. Charlie got caught up with some sort of crypto gangster holding somebody hostage in a townhouse. Charlie was staying at the townhouse where somebody was being held hostage and was beat up. And of course, for legal reasons, he can't talk about it, but it was all in the news. And again, I ain't even look it up, but sound like it was all over the blogs, child. I didn't look it up. I didn't even know nothing about it. I feel this younger generation are more accepting of the lifestyle, whereas the older generation had more trials and tribulations. The story may not have been an issue. It would be nice to see it. Right. And that's why I was like, even with her parents, you know, again, I'm not saying she needs to make it a storyline. If it's not an issue for her, if her family has accepted her, her friends have accepted her. Like I said, she's got a whole boyfriend. She's got a whole career. Like, I'm not saying make it an issue. I just think it's great to see. And I would love to hear the conversation about how we got here. You know what I mean? But anyway, y'all get the point. Y'all know what I'm saying. Charlie was at a dope den. Let's call it what it is. Well, Ava's supposed to be a model. Yeah, Ava does model. Now, is she like an A-list model? I don't think so, but she does model. And she's a beautiful girl. But I do think that if I'm going to call a thing, I do think her father probably takes money from her, or she probably feels obligated to help him. If I'm being honest, that's my opinion. Don't know that to be a fact. Oh, did I hit everybody? Hold on. What's the girl name? The one that don't wash her hands. What's her name? Child. I ain't write that girl name down. What's her name? Georgia's nasty. I don't like Georgia. I think Georgia's a nasty person, both physically and like the fact that she says she still don't wash her hands and she found a man that don't wash his hands, that's some nasty shit. Like, I think you think it's funny and it's cute, and it's not. There's nothing funny or cute about that. You talking about your boyfriend broke up with you and now him and Charlie are trying to open up a club and taking your business plan. I don't know about y'all, but if we go back to last season, girl, you didn't have a business plan. You had a whiteboard with ideas. I didn't see no business plan. I didn't see a pitch deck. I didn't see you do no full-fledged like presentation. I saw you have a bowling party at a venue where you invited some potential investors, but them wanting to open up a club is not taking your idea. It's not stealing your company. Because if you had a legit company with legit, like you had gone through the proper procedure of setting up a company, girl, they can't steal your company that easily. Like, why you don't have attorneys? Why haven't you looked at attorneys to try to, like, hello? So let's talk about what the issues are as we go into Amira's having her birthday party. It's a cowboy themed situation. So let's talk about what's going on. So Georgia and Ava have beef with Gia because Gia went on a podcast and called Ava a liar. We're going to come back to that in a second. Adriana and Gia have beef with Ava and Georgia because they feel like Ava was talking ish about them last year. Amira still has beef with Georgia over the Ozempic comment. Now, let me be honest. This is where I have to remember that I'm 50 years old and these people are in their 20s. Because some of the issues that they mad about are just not that fucking deep. However, comma, I have to remember, one, this is a reality show, and two, they're in their 20s. Let me say this. Y'all know how I feel about these reality shows rehashing bullshit. Amira, even though Georgia irritates my soul, you had a conversation with Georgia. Georgia apologized for making the Ozempic comment. She apologized that she said it, and that is it, and that is all. What I don't like is people rehashing something because you didn't like the way it was done or said. You talking about some, I didn't feel like her apology was sincere, so now I'm mad again. I don't like that. If you're going to be mad at Georgia, I'm sure she's going to give you 500 things to be mad about. But can we not be upset about something she's already addressed and apologized about? Girl, she said your Ozempic was wearing off. I don't want to be funny, but, and again, she said that she's dealt with like eating disorders and body image. And we know that she deals with body image things. But girl, it wasn't that deep. Like on the list of things that Georgia has done or said to be offensive, girl, it wasn't that deep. Now, if you're going to tell me you were mad because you felt like she was flirting with your boyfriend, well, that's a conversation we can have. And it sounds like you were, because when Georgia confronted you about it, your response wasn't immediately, your immediate response wasn't, girl, no, that's not it. Your response was, she found out about that? Who told her I said that? So it sounds like you did have an issue with it. It sounds like you did have a problem. So I think that's what the real issue is, girl. You felt like Georgia was flirting with your man. It's okay to say that. It's okay to say, yeah, I feel like you was flirting with my man and I didn't appreciate that. But what we're not going to do is go back to the whole Ozempic thing and make it a thing, because that's not what we're going to do. In my opinion. At least I'm not. Now, let's talk about this whole Charlie Hudson. What's that other little boy's name? That they do him so dirty. They really treat him like the joke of the group. So Ariana broke up with Hudson, but of course they've been together. They've known each other for 10 years. They've been together off and on for 10 years. So she really still cares about him. She really still loves him. And she really doesn't want to see him get caught up in the bullshit, i.e. Charlie. Charlie and Hudson are hanging out. And she said, how in the world can you hang out with somebody who last year said that he wanted to F your girlfriend? Like, how can you be cool with him? How can you be cool with him? How can you be cool with him? And what, hey, everybody coming in. And what, Hudson still loves Ariana. Hudson wants to be with her. And the breakup is still new. Like, they had only, like, when they started filming, I feel like when this first event took place, I think it had only been like 10 days or something like that. So that's not even 2 full weeks. Y'all, when I tell y'all I've done everything to get these damn gnats out my damn house. Ooh, they getting on my nerves. I got 2 Zevas. I got the alcohol. They said alcohol is good. So and alcohol did draw that alcohol. It did get some of them. But anyway, it's pissing me off. But anyway, I want a son of a billionaire chasing after me. Me too, Lexi. Me too. Hudson was homeschooled. I can see why he's naive. So it's this whole thing where they're making a big deal about the fact, oh, they're pre-gaming. Girl, who cares? Listen, the man said he wanted to sleep with your girlfriend. She ain't your girlfriend no more. Like, my thing is, y'all not together anymore. I get it that you still care about him, but you gotta just let it be what it's gonna be. Like, you just gotta let it be what it's gonna be. This was a cute scene with Gia and her mom and her stealing the stuff out the house. Listen, we've all done that. we have absolutely all got, when we got our own place, took things out of our parents' house. I know I did. Hell, I still shop at my parents' house sometimes. If I go over there and my parents they done bought something to eat that I wanted, baby, I will go in that refrigerator and be like, who this belong to? Because it's mine now. Um, I know when I first moved into my house, I had a housewarming. And I absolutely feel like some of my gifts were like unopened items that people had at their house and was like, ooh, I'm gonna give it to her. My Aunt Sarah, rest her soul, I loved her dearly. That was my girl. I love me some Aunt Sarah, okay? She was a diehard Redskin fan, and you wasn't gonna tell her nothing different. You understand? She got a letter from the Redskins when she passed away, child. She was a diehard fan. Let me tell y'all something. She gave me a set of dishes, and the box had never been opened. Like, it wasn't like they were used. Y'all, them dishes were so ugly. I said, somebody gave her these dishes, and she kept them in the box just to give to somebody else because I refuse to believe she went to the store and bought those dishes just for me. I just don't believe that. I believe that she was like, ooh, housewarming for my niece. She's really my great aunt because she's my grandmother's sister. And I feel like she just went in her cabinet and took out a box that she had in her closet. And I mean, what I'm supposed to say? All I could say was thank you. Um, Cheryl said I got my aunt and uncle's wedding gift when I moved. Right. I mean, I think so. I thought that was a cute little scene with Gia trying to figure out what she could take and how Teresa was trying to give Gia all the shit she didn't want. It was really cute. Um, Gia and this situation with Ava. Liam. Let's go back to Liam. Liam knows them. Liam went to school, like Liam, Amira, Charlie, and Brooks all know each other. They all like from school, whatever. They all know each other. Liam, I like Liam. I don't know if I'm gonna like Liam at the end of the season. Y'all know how this stuff goes, but I do like Liam. Um, we'll see how I feel at the end of this situation. Um, Liam and Brooks go ice skating. It was cute. Brooks is Brooks' child. Brooks is gonna be Brooks. Brooks is Brooks. Um, I understand that Brooks is one of the anchors of the show because of his mom, like the whole these are the kids of the reality TV people, whatever, whatever. But honestly, if Brooks ain't gonna give us more than what he gave us last season, Brooks really need to be reduced to like friend of, because you really aren't giving main character energy. I mean, we got more out of your brother, I mean out of your sister last season than we got out of you. We got more of a storyline from your sister last year, Brooks. I'm sorry, but it's whatever. Um, Gia and her issue with Ava. You like deadpan Brooks? Brooks is as dry of a reality star as his mama. Now you know what? That is true. I'm sorry, Ava's issue with Gia. Ava said that Gia lied on a podcast. Now, here's the thing. She said, look, what she said was that Teresa followed me and unfollowed me. And she felt like, I guess Teresa followed her and unfollowed her because of the show or because of maybe some comments, whatever issue she had between her and Gia. I'm assuming that's the insinuation she was making. Gia went on a podcast and said Ava was a liar. Her mother wouldn't do that. It's not that deep for her mother. Her mother doesn't care that much. Her mother wouldn't do that. Ava eventually ends up showing Gia screenshots that prove that that absolutely did happen. Here's my issue. Who fucking cares? Because then Gia was like, oh, well, I think this is AI generated. Like, who does that? Who takes a screenshot? Who does that? Now, we've had this conversation before about I don't care who follows me. I don't care who blocks me. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care and I don't know. But let me be very clear about something. We all know that there are Instagram pages that are solely dedicated to showing people which celebrities follow and unfollow. So I don't think it's so much that Ava necessarily had a screenshot. Somebody probably might have sent Ava that screenshot after Gia said she was lying. Because there are, y'all know that. We've talked about that before. There are legit, like there are apps that they have created that you can like put the information in the app and find out when somebody was following somebody and when they unfollow. Like we've talked about this. So I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's crazy that Ava would have the screenshot. Now, do I think that Ava was that vested and went out and found it on her own? Maybe not. I feel like maybe somebody sent it to her. You know what I mean? But Gia, once she showed you the information, all you had to say, first of all, I really wish people would stop speaking for other people. Stop speaking for your mother. Stop saying my mom wouldn't do something like that. I know my mom. She wouldn't do something like that. She just doesn't care that much. And then you kept saying, well, it wasn't my mom. It wasn't my mom. Now, listen, if somebody else runs your mother's social media, just say, look, my mom don't even run her own Instagram. That's not my mom. But stop talking about what somebody will or will not do. Because clearly your mother did it. And I don't think Ava was that vested in creating an AI-generated picture to show a follow and an unfollow. Is it possible? Sure. Do I think it's that deep? I really don't. I just don't. It's just stupid. But you know what, Lexi? I think it's stupid on both sides. Because Gia, why would you even if Ava said, hey, her mom followed me and unfollowed me, why was it that serious? Like, I don't know. I just think it's stupid on both ends. And again, we know how Teresa and them Judice girls are. So I think Gia is just gonna hold on to that shit like my mama did. Like now it was AI generated. Girl, go sit down somewhere. Let me say something. I'm gonna tell y'all what I don't like. And I told y'all I'm just doing both episodes at the same time, so I'm kind of all over the place. My bad. We have seen how petty Teresa has been over there. Right, Dom Devereaux. Like your mother, absolutely. Teresa was probably following every single person on that show when like the show first started, and then as the season went on, like we see people do it all the time. Look at Tamar Braxton. Tamar Braxton will follow you at 9 o'clock, unfollow you at 10 o'clock, and follow you back at 11, at 12 o'clock. Like we have seen it happen. Like it's not that deep. Now, let me say something, and I know this is going to sound crazy as hell. I know this is going to sound crazy to y'all. I don't like the pile up on Charlie. I don't like Charlie. I'm not a fan of Charlie, but I do not like the pile up on Charlie. Do I think that Charlie is an asshole? Yes. Do I think that Charlie was disrespectful to some people last season, and they may still have some residual feelings? Sure. Do I think that everybody that has an issue with Charlie should have an issue with Charlie? No. Brooks, you don't have a real reason to have an issue with Charlie. You don't have a real reason to have an issue with Charlie. Yes, Charlie was trying to mess with your sister, but your sister's grown and your sister's put the brakes on it and everybody moved on. You said that Charlie created issues with some of your other friends and created issues with people that like in your friend group, but we're all adults. Charlie did not do anything to you personally, in my opinion. Now maybe I can refresh my memory. Charlie and Georgia, because I feel the way I feel about Georgia, I honestly feel like whatever happened between Charlie and Georgia was mutual combat. I feel like you did shit to him. I feel like he did shit to you. The man let you live with him, so he couldn't have been that bad of a person. He let you live and sleep on his couch more than one time. Again, I feel like it was mutual combat. I don't feel like Ava's new boyfriend is upset because of some things that Charlie said on the show. He didn't like that Charlie was objectifying Ava and some of the inappropriate things he said. So now Ava's not allowed to be around Charlie because of her boyfriend. I'm sorry, y'all. And again, I know some of y'all are not going to agree with me, but I honestly, y'all, I feel like we put in 20 on 10 with some of this shit. Like, I really feel like we put in 20 on 10. I'm sorry. I really feel like, first of all, Ava, you are a model. And I'm not saying that just because you're a model, it's okay for people to objectify you. But I'm sure that you are objectified 20,000 times a day when people look at your pictures. You're a beautiful woman, and men, I'm sure, make inappropriate comments all the time. Yes, Charlie made some inappropriate comments, but in my mind, Charlie was flirting with you. Charlie was trying to get with you. And yes, he said something. I think the clip they showed was he was like, we should just go ahead and have sex right now. In the grand scheme of things, is that enough for us to be like having this whole I hate Charlie thing? No. I'm going to give a shout out to Amira for standing 10 toes down for her friend. Like, shout out to you, Amira, for saying, listen, I still fucks with Charlie. Like, I know Charlie can be problematic. I know that Charlie can be an ass, but he's my friend, and I'm going to ride with him. I respect that shit. Like, I totally respect that, Amira. And I appreciate that. Them plain bread people make a big deal of nothing, especially the young ones, right? Charlie did help Georgia out when she needed a couch and to lay her head. George, oh, you said Georgia is a grifter. I believe so too. I believe Georgia jumps from one opportunity to the next opportunity. I think the dude that she was with, I think she saw money. Because like even when she was talking about how he left her stranded in another country and because she was financially dependent on him. I don't mean no harm, but God bless the child that's got his own. Like, girl, you was in a whole other country with a man, and you didn't have enough money in your bank account to buy a plane ticket home. At the very least, you should have enough money on a plane ticket to get home. Like, I ain't never gonna let no man put me in a position that he feel like he can leave me and I can't get the fuck home. I'm sorry, I don't give a damn if we down the street at the Chipotle or if we in Asia, you know, eating at a restaurant. Like, I be damn. And again, I know some of this might be my adult mindset, and these are, you know, kids that are in their 20s. Like, I don't know. But what I am gonna say is, you ain't never gonna put me in a trick bag, and it's not his fault. I don't know what argument y'all got into that man left you stranded in a whole nother country, but it must have been deep. That's all I got to say about that. It must have been deep that man left you stranded in a whole nother, I mean, not just zip code. That man left you stranded in a whole nother country. What the fuck did y'all argue about? What did you say? Did you call that man out his name? Did you talk about his mama? Like, what did you do? And the only reason why I say what did you do is because I don't really like Georgia. Because maybe Georgia didn't do nothing. I don't know. Maybe he was just that big of an asshole and he was that kind of a person. Like, I don't know. But I'm just like, damn, that man really left you stranded in a whole nother country? Damn. But anyway, and you said that when you first got back home, Charlie let you, like, she said, if I remember correctly, when she got home, I think she said when she got home, Charlie had packed up her shit and, like, basically he told her she had to leave. So I feel like, and now Charlie and the ex-boyfriend are friends. So I feel like whatever happened that was bad enough for him to leave you stranded, and then by the time you got home, Charlie was putting you out, and now the boyfriend and Charlie are cool. I feel like whatever y'all fought about or argued about, it involved Charlie. Maybe I don't know. I feel like it involved, because why Charlie put you out? How did Charlie go from you can live here with me to not only can you not live here with me, but I done packed your shit and put it out outside. Like she said, when she got home, her shit was packed up. So that story is deeper. It's deeper than what you telling us. I'm sorry, that story is deeper than what you telling us. Because you lost your boyfriend and you lost your roommate, and put that in air quotes, at the same time, and now the boyfriend and the roommate are cool, and you the one odd man out. Something, it's something more to that story that we don't know, y'all. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. So now he caught a virus from her. Ooh. So we get to now. The funny thing is, Amira's birthday party was actually on Ariana's actual birthday, and that's messed up that you're gonna have to work. You're working because let's break the fourth wall. Ariana had to literally work celebrating somebody else's birthday, film a whole birthday party on her actual birthday. I would hate that. Y'all know how much I love my birthday, child. I would hate that I had to actually celebrate somebody else's birthday on my birthday. Bitch, what? And that's not your actual birthday. Like, we're just having the party on my birthday. Absolute what? I'm sorry, who? Baby, no. No. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do, baby. You working. So the party was cool. We got to see Amira's mom. And for those who did not know, she was a woman of color. She is. Somebody said her mother's from Ethiopia. I know she has an accent. Her mother's beautiful. We meet her mom and dad. I don't know if that's this episode or next episode, but we actually meet her mom and dad. She said they've been divorced for a while. She said they're at a point now where they can actually be in the same room together. So I'm assuming it must have been a nasty divorce, you know. Ava is questioning whether the breakup is real between Ariana and Hudson. I'm gonna be honest, and again, I understand the speculation. You are filming a reality show. The timing seems a little questionable. I absolutely understand the speculation, but I feel like that's something you say once and you just move on with it. Like, I don't feel like that's something you just keep bringing up and bringing up and bringing up and bringing up. Like, okay, you think, and I love that Brooks checked her. I really love that when Ava tried to throw the shade about the breakup. I love the fact that Brooks was like, don't do that. Like, don't do that. Like, the breakup is real. We're not going to air quote it, you know? So I can appreciate that. Liam likes Ariana. Liam likes Ariana. And he was shooting his shot, and Hudson wasn't feeling it. Baby, Hudson went up to him and told him, look, listen, that's mine. I know she ain't claiming me right now, but she belonged to me, and I just need you to understand that we're going to keep these boundaries real clear, that she's mine. Look, I'm not mad at Hudson. He didn't want to break up with her. He wants her back. He thinks that they're going to get back together. And so he don't want to prolong the situation. He don't want to have to fight nobody. He don't want to have to go through no booms and bams and wooms and whams. Like, listen, that's mine. And she over there right now, she tripping, but I'm going to get her back. She tripping. I see her. I see her over there tripping, but she coming back. Right, V. Spence. V. Spence said Hudson is friends with Charlie to keep an eye on him. I do think there's a part of Hudson that feels like I'm keeping my eye on Charlie. Like, I know Charlie likes her, so I'm keeping my eye on Charlie. And then here come Liam, and he like, damn, I thought I had this situation under control, and I got to deal with you over here. Hold on. Yeah, I think they are back together now. Lexi said, I believe Ariana and Hudson are back together now. That doesn't mean the breakup was real. No, the breakup I think was absolutely real. I mean, she moved out and had her own apartment and everything. But I also think that she broke up with him to joke. She said, listen, I never questioned that he loved me, but he wasn't dating me anymore. He wasn't romancing me anymore. He didn't do anything. She said she would leave for work. He was sitting on the couch. She would come home and he would sit on the couch. And I feel like she was alluding to the fact that maybe he deals with depression, because she talked about that's how their friendship sort of got built up. Because she was like, I was there for him. I helped him through some things. I was always there to encourage him. I was always there for him. But, you know, we got to New York and it just seemed like, and he moved to New York for her. right? He didn't want to move to New York. He moved to New York because that's where she wanted to be. But she said he basically had no drive. I think that Hudson is cool living off of his money. Like, I think he's cool living off of his money. I don't think, and here's the thing, if I were rich and didn't have to go to work, I would be cool with living off my money too. But I think what Adriana's saying is, what are we going to do now? Like, go to the gym, like, do something. I ain't saying you got to go out and get a job, but she was like, you stopped dating me. You stopped taking me out. We stopped being a couple. And when women and men and women, when men and women start feeling that way, that's where infidelity comes in or the breakup. So I think she had to kick him in the butt. I think she had, because she said she gave him a year to get it together. So I feel like in that year, they probably had multiple conversations. They probably had multiple conversations about what she wanted, how she was feeling, what she wasn't getting. And then she finally was like, I gotta go. I can't keep having the same conversation. And that's a very mature place to be. You know, right, Cajun? That's a very mature place to be for Adriana. I mean, for Ariana, excuse me. That is a very mature mindset, because she could have easily just kept living off his money and dogging him out. You know what I mean? Well, I'm going to keep letting you pay the bills. I'm going to keep letting you take care of me while I'm over here with the other dude, or while I'm, you know what I mean? So I can respect that. I can absolutely respect that. She was like, look, this is no longer serving me, and so I'm going to remove myself. It's not about whether I love you or not, because I love you. But this, I have to remove myself from. I can respect that. That was pretty much episode 1. Episode 2, they went to the after party after Amir's birthday, and that's where they had all these little conversations. Whatever. Don't care. Liam is talking to his friends. He's letting his friends know that he's hanging out with this new little friend group, that he likes Ariana, but her boyfriend kind of hemmed him up. You know, they're having that sort of conversation. We see Jackson. Now, Jackson is just a friend of Liam, but that's another person of color. They all knew each other, went to high school together, yada, yada, yada. We see Charlie meeting up with Omar. They're talking about the club. Charlie said, listen, I've always been a part of nightlife here in New York. And if you go back to episode 1, we saw that in episode 1 where Charlie was getting them into the club. Charlie was the man. Charlie could get into any club, VIP, whatever. So I do think it makes sense for Charlie to try to open up a club. Again, taking away the fact that we know that, you know, how we might personally feel about Charlie, but it's not a bad thought or a crazy thought that Charlie would want to open up a club, right? It's not crazy. Riley, yes, Riley is in episode 2 now. Episode 1, they said Riley was traveling. Riley was, you know, so she's in episode 2. Let me say something. In my opinion, Riley definitely looked cute. Riley is a cutie. I think Riley is a cutie. She's back in school. She's getting ready to go back to school. She's studying. I guess she's studying for the LSAT. So she's ready to go back to school. She said that she doesn't, you know, she wants to be an entertainment lawyer. So she's getting ready to go back to school and stuff like that. Let me say this. Out of all of the people that have an issue with Charlie, I love that Riley is like, look, I can be around you. I can be in your space, but I don't have to be friends with you. And I don't have to like you. And no, you can't hug me. And no, I'm not going to make chit chat with you. Like, I know I'm filming. Like, her mama probably said, look, go make that money. You better film that show. You better do what you got to do in these scenes. But also, it's okay to keep your distance. It's okay to have your boundaries. And I feel like that's where we are with Riley. Riley is like, listen, I don't have to fuck with you. Full stop. And I'm not going to fuck with you if I don't want to fuck with you. You know why? Because I don't have to. And I really feel like I honestly feel like that's where Riley is with the whole Charlie thing. Like, I don't have to fuck with you. Riley, Ava, and Amira are doing an event together. I feel like Amira is trying to help Ava. Ava said that she wants to get her followers up. She wants to make more money. She wants to be a better influencer because, of course, being an influencer and being a model kind of go hand in hand these days. And I can respect the fact that Amira is trying to help her out. Like, I respect it. I respect the fact that Amira is trying to help her out. So they're doing like an Urban Outfitters Christmas event. Y'all know how they do these things before the actual holidays. So I believe this took place in like September, October, before the holidays, where they had like their holiday wish list and that kind of thing. Now, this whole episode, everybody's talking about, well, is Charlie going to be there? What about Charlie? Who's inviting Charlie? Why is Charlie there? And I hate the fact that Georgia was like, I feel like she's the one rallying the troops. Like, well, nobody wants him around. I mean, who's inviting him? Who wants him around? Is it Amira? Is Amira the one? Amira's the one, right? Nobody else wants him around except for Amira. I don't like that. I don't like that. Because whether I like Charlie or not, I don't like the pile up. I don't like them, especially coming from Georgia. I don't like so basically nobody wants him around except for Amira, right? It's just Amira, right? Because let me be clear, I don't think you want to fuck with Amira. I don't think that's who you want problems with. I really don't think that's who you want problems with. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, Georgia, I don't think Amira is the one that you really want to fuck with. Call me crazy, but I don't think that's who you want to fuck with. The night of the event, of course, everybody's there. Hudson's not there. I think they said Hudson was in Atlanta, so he wasn't coming to the event. Georgia doesn't have the juice in the group. Right. She don't have the juice. Right. She can't ice Charlie out. And that's why I said I respect the fact that Amira is like, nah, I know Charlie got some shit with him, but Charlie's my friend. And I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'm not gonna do it to him. Like, I know what y'all are trying to do. I know what y'all want to do, but I'm not gonna be a part of that. We see Georgia talk to her boyfriend. She done found her another rich man who she still can't tell y'all what she do for a living. He don't do crypto. He's crypto adjacent. Girl, what the fuck does that mean? What the hell is crypto adjacent? What does that mean? Crypto adjacent. That don't even make no sense. Charlie is the oldest man. Oh, next gen NYC. I wouldn't mess with Amira either. She with the mess. Yeah, Amira will get you together, all the way together. Like, I just, she ain't the one I would fuck with. I'm trying to think. I think we pretty much covered pretty much everything. Like I said, at their event, Charlie actually has a conversation with Ariana. And y'all know Charlie doesn't know how to come right out and like apologize about something. But he basically was like, look, you don't have to worry about me and Hudson being cool. Like, I don't have no ill intent. You know, I know what I said last year. It is what it is, but I'm not trying to do nothing bad to Charlie. I mean, to Hudson. I don't have no ill intent. We've just been hanging out. He's a cool dude. I'm a cool dude. We just cool dudes doing cool dude shit, you know? And Ariana was like, okay. What I had a problem with Mr. Brooks, was, why are you acting like it's a problem for Ariana to have a conversation with Charlie? Like, that's what I mean when I was like, I don't like how I feel like this is going. Like, why she can't have a conversation with that man? Like, Brooks was like, why are you talking to him? Oh my gosh. And then he's running off being all silly. Brooks, grow up. Grow up. But that's pretty much that was pretty much the 2 episodes. Again, I combined both episodes. Honestly, episode 1 was a lot of filler. It wasn't filler, but it was a lot of let's get caught up. Oh, Rowan. Yeah, I like Rowan. Rowan is Brooke Shields' daughter. We meet her in episode 2 as well. Rowan, I think, is hilarious. I like Rowan. Again, this is my first impression. By the end of the season, I reserve the right to change my mind. But based on this first episode of us seeing Rowan, I like her. I absolutely love Rowan. Rowan is quirky. Rowan is what Georgia wants to be. She's quirky, but she's not extra. You know what I'm saying? I like Rowan. I like Brooke Shields. I think Brooke Shields is funny. Brooke Shields is very candid about her life. Like a lot of y'all aren't old enough to understand the Brooke Shields phenomenon and understand the controversy around Brooke Shields and her mom. Like her mom was a momager, like a Kris Jenner, very similar to like things that Kris Jenner has been accused of doing. Accused of exploiting her daughter. Brooke Shields played a lot of characters that people felt like she was too young to play, felt like her mom had her in places that she shouldn't have been, exposed to things. Like Brooke Shields could have absolutely been another Drew Barrymore, walking down that road of drug addiction and alcoholism and all of those things. So a lot of people don't really know that. Right. Brooke Shields' mom was the Kris Jenner of, like, she was the Kris Jenner and the Kim Kardashian. The only difference is Brooke Shields wasn't really, I mean, it was the 70s, so stuff wasn't on social media the way it is today. I don't know what Brooke Shields, she actually wrote a book, and I want to read it. I don't know how much she was actually doing versus what her mother had her exposed to. Like, I don't know what she was actually doing. I remember, now, is Rowan's daddy Andre Agassi? Because remember, Brooke Shields was married to Andre Agassi for a while, and they have a couple of kids together before he got with the lady, Steffi Graf. Is that her daddy? Because I noticed they talked about her mom, but they didn't bring up her dad. And I figured if her dad was Andre Agassi, they would have brought that up. I mean, Andre Agassi is fucking Andre Agassi. So I'm just wondering. Yeah, she had Brooke Shields play a prostitute. I remember she was in this movie, Blue Lagoon, where I think there was some nudity. I mean, like a movie like Blue Lagoon would absolutely never be made today. They were kids and there was some nudity involved and they ended up having sex. It was a whole thing. I remember watching Blue Lagoon, and I was a kid watching it, and I was like, it was weird. Like, I don't even, like, at this point, I think if anybody ever showed Blue Lagoon, I think it would be so edited at this point. I think it would be so edited. Like, let me tell you something, there's no way a movie like Blue Lagoon would be made in 2026. I mean, I don't even think you would be able to find uncut, like, it was crazy. And again, I don't remember all of the details because again, I saw it as a child, but I just know that they were two kids that were stranded on this island by themselves. And I remember one of them stepped on like a blowfish or something and almost died. I remember they ended up having sex. I remember that she was walking around naked. Now, they didn't show her full frontal, but like her hair was covering her breast. But the idea was she's naked. You know, it was just, and I mean, her mom got a lot of criticism and stuff for it, but at the same time, it didn't stop people from hiring her to do those types of things, you know? I remember I had a Brooke Shields Barbie doll. And it wasn't a like Mattel Barbie doll. It wasn't a real Barbie doll. And I remember I got that for Christmas one year. And I remember her hair. You know how Barbie's hair, you could brush her hair and it always stayed nice and silky. Baby, whatever hair they put on that Brooke Shields doll, baby, it must have been Afro hair, because as soon as you brushed it, I don't want to use the word nappy because I know that'd be offending people, but baby, it was a mess. Trying to brush that hair, I said, what the fuck kind of hair did they put on this Barbie doll? I remember she was a spokesperson, I believe, for Sasson jeans, or was it Jordache? I think it was Jordache, but because I remember I wanted me some Jordache jeans. And even back then, I was hippie. And I finally got a pair of Jordache jeans, but baby, them things were so tight. Ooh. Because of course I wasn't as big then as I am now. Back then I was probably like a size 10, you know. When I was a kid, I was always a chubby kid, but I wasn't fat. Baby, I wish I was as fat as I was the first time I thought I was fat. The first time I thought I was fat, I was probably a size 8'10". The first time I thought I was fat. Baby, I would love to be a size 10. You understand what I'm telling you? Rowan's dad is Hollywood director Chris Hinchy. Okay, thank you, Felicia, for looking that up for me. It was Jordache. Okay. And she had a baby. See, I don't even remember everything. So she ended up having a baby. See, that's what I'm talking about. I saw it as a young adult, and it would definitely not be shown today. The other one, too, where she played a child. Yes. Yep, I remember, I finally got me a pair of Jordache. I had a pair of Jordache jeans, Gloria Vanderbilt jeans. I feel like I had some Sasson jeans, too. I feel like I had all three. At one point in time, I feel like I had the trifecta. Because back then, those were the three. Back then, I felt like it was Cajun. Back then, I felt like a size 8'10" was fat. Back then. Now, of course, nowadays, it's for a woman, nowadays, a size 8'10" is not considered fat, especially for a Black woman. It's not considered fat. But back then, yeah, I felt like I was chubby. I had a little pooch. You know, I felt fat. Now, back then, I could suck it in, and I was like, oh, look, if I suck my stomach in, I'm thin. But you got to remember, you know, the peer pressure, what you saw around you, your peers around you, what you saw on TV, what you were told was fat, you know. Like the standard of beauty back then was still skinny white women. I mean, that's still what we saw on runways. That's still what we were told is what to aspire to be. So, yeah, back then, yeah. And especially when you went into a store, and again, the other thing too was those types of clothes were not made for Black women's bodies. So even though a size 8'10" is not considered fat, but if you got it in your hips and you got it in your booty, those clothes still ain't gonna fit you. You might pick up a size 8, a size 10, but it was still made for that European model of beauty. You know, it was still made for a white woman 8'10", not a Black woman 8'10". You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, they make clothes that flatter, and especially because white women have embraced BBLs and shit like that. So they make clothes that embrace the booty and the hips. They have to. Because all these women are, Black women have it naturally, and white women are buying it. Oh, Lord, y'all can see my laundry, but hold on, move. Y'all can see the laundry on my couch. Let me move back. You see I got them unfolded clothes on my couch. I told y'all I've been doing laundry, honey. That's the last load. Because I was looking for my bathing suit. Remember I told you I was looking for that bathing suit. I finally found it. It was in a load of laundry that I hadn't folded yet. So I found my bathing suit that I was looking for. So I got to take them clothes upstairs. Y'all, if y'all could see... If y'all could see the explosion of clothes in my bedroom and in my spare bedroom right now, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because I'm in the process of packing, but I was also watching because it took so long for summer to come in. I don't know about where y'all live. It took so long for summer to really be here. Like it would get hot and then it would get cold. It would get hot. It would get cold. It would get hot. So I hadn't really pulled out my summer stuff. So now that I'm pulling out the last couple of weeks, I've been pulling out my summer clothes, but I'm like, I got to finish washing up all my winter stuff so I can figure out what I'm going to pack up for winter, what I'm going to take to the Goodwill. Because every time I change seasons, I make myself take clothes to the Goodwill. I try to take at least 2 bags full of clothes every time I switch out seasons. So now I'm doing all of this at the same time. I'm washing clothes. I'm packing up my winter clothes. I'm figuring out what I'm taking to the Goodwill, and I'm packing for my trip all at the same time. Maybe I got clothes everywhere. It is so embarrassing. No, Cajun, you're not, because I'm not going to be here. You're not getting a beyond the gates. No, because I'm not going to be here. Anyway, yes, yeah, we talked about that, Jessica. She played a child, person. We talked about that. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. I'm trying to figure out what time is it. It's 5 o'clock. I'm leaving here in about an hour and a half. Yeah, I'm gonna just chill. I was gonna do a travel video. I may do that tomorrow. I may do my I was thinking about doing a video on either my first cruise ever or my first Norwegian cruise. I think I'm gonna do my first Norwegian cruise. Well, my first and only Norwegian cruise, but I think I may do my first Norwegian cruise. I may do that tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll do Heart and Hustle Houston, and we'll do a travel video. Because I gotta finish packing tomorrow. Because I'm leaving on Monday. I gotta finish packing. I gotta charge up all my stuff, charge my tablet. So this is what I'm gonna do, y'all. I'm going to download The Polygamist on my tablet. So I'm gonna watch The Polygamist while I'm on my trip. So I'll be ready to talk about it when I come back. So I'm gonna watch The Polygamist. So that's what I'll be ready to talk about when I come back. Yeah. All right. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all continue. Y'all be safe. Y'all listen, stay out this heat. If you in the area, stay out this heat if you can. If you going out to enjoy the festivities after it cools down, you still got to make sure that staying hydrated and all that good stuff. Stay cool, all them things. Child, this is not one of those times to try to be cute. This is one of them times to try to be comfortable and cool, okay? All right. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Mwah. Yeah, Cajun, Shade in the City. Tree's gonna keep you right with the Beyond the Gates. Tree's will keep you right next week. So go on over there and get your Beyond the Gates. Talk to y'all later. Peace.